Hey everyone, it's Isaac here, back with another video, and as you all know, in the modern day where technology is used quite a bit, typing is one of the most important skills you can learn, at least right now. Until mind implant keyboards become a thing or whatever, typing is going to be one of the most important skills you're going to use day to day, assuming that you use technology, whether at your work, at your school, whatever. Typing is a very important skill to have, and today I will be talking about 5 things that will kill your typing speed, whether you realize them or not. Some of these you may already know, maybe you know, yes, that's a bad habit I have, maybe some of these you don't know, so make sure to stick around till the end. I've got 5 points for you today. Before we get started, if you're part of my regular viewership, I do have a Nitro Type Cash giveaway going on. That ends the end of the month, so definitely go check that out. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, so first point is, if you type on your keyboard and you're looking at your keyboard while you're typing, like you need to look at your keyboard when you type, learn how to type without looking at the keyboard. It is one of the number one things that you should learn learning to type. It is the first thing you should learn before you learn anything else, before you learn what layout you want to use, because there are more layouts than the standard one that are more efficient. I just use the standard one because that's what I learned and I don't feel like learning another one. Yeah, learn how to type without looking at the keyboard. It's going to take you a while. It's going to be frustrating. It took me several times to learn how to type on the keyboard, but if you do look at the gameplay footage I have of myself practicing my typing skills, I can type decently fast. So please take it from somebody who knows what they're talking about. Learn how to type without looking at the keyboard. Next thing is next, and most of my regular viewership definitely knows that this one is coming, and that is accuracy. You need to have good accuracy when you're typing. It doesn't matter how fast you type if you mess up a bunch. And if you aren't typing very fast and you're messing up a bunch, that's even worse. And you're not going to be able to get very fast if you can't type with good accuracy. So make sure you have at least 98% accuracy. I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here because most of my typing is definitely not at 98%. But I know enough about typing that it's definitely really helpful to have accuracy. Next thing's next, not everyone thinks about this one, but having cold hands is really bad for your typing. I definitely recommend warming your hands up, whether that be, doing some jumping jacks, push-ups, whatever you need to do. Running them under warm water works for me pretty well. I use pretty warm water, but if you're not used to that, then I recommend using maybe just lukewarm water, or just even regular water, if maybe that's all you can tolerate, or maybe that's all it takes for your hands to warm up. I don't know. I don't have the most fantastic circulation in the world, so sometimes I have to use pretty warm water. Don't use ridiculously scalding hot water, because that could probably end up tensing your hand up. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I assume any sort of temperature extreme is probably going to do more tensing up the hand muscles than relaxing them, and we want to relax them so that you're not, trying to spam the keyboard and missing keys. Making sure your hands are relaxed and you're typing is a very important thing, and warming your hands up is one of the easiest ways to do that. Alright, next thing's next. Not very many people think about this either, and if you're working, you may not have a choice. But typing in the morning is generally not a good idea if you're just competing against other people, like on the platform that I use, I compete against other people. I generally try to avoid typing in the morning because fluid builds up in your joints overnight, and it can be very difficult to type fast or accurately at first if you have fluid in your joints. Again, this is just my experience, my research. Maybe you can type any time of day, no problem, but it's definitely something that affects me. Let me know in the comments if that affects you, because I'm genuinely curious to see. Last thing is last. The keyboard you're using is very, very important. If you are in an office setting, you may not be able to use a mechanical keyboard because they are very loud. In fact, I can do a sound test of mine right now. It sounds like this. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to use that in an office setting. But if you're at school, I imagine also they won't have mechanical keyboards. You probably won't get a choice. But if you're just at home, I highly recommend picking up a mechanical keyboard. Of course, if you do type with 2 fingers, which you should not do, type with all your fingers. Again, that kind of ties into learning how to type properly. Make sure that the mechanical keyboard you're doing is large enough. I have a 60% keyboard, and it's too small for me. I really do need to get a larger keyboard eventually. 100% and 100% is definitely too large. 75% is what I think would be the sweet spot. You still have your function row, you still have arrow keys, you still have a few media keys, but you don't have all those keys that nobody ever uses. And if you edit a lot of videos, you can always either get a macro pad, or there is software you can use. Just buy a cheap keyboard and you can turn that entire thing into a macro pad. But yeah, choosing the correct type of keyboard. If you are in an office setting, I highly recommend picking up maybe a membrane keyboard of some sort. I know Apple makes good membrane keyboards. I personally don't like membrane keyboards, and I've used Apple ones before and I hate them. They have ridiculously short key travel. I really like the membrane keyboard on my gaming laptop. It has a decent amount of travel, meaning you still have to press it a little bit, but it still feels nice and tactile and just very quiet, and I like it a lot. And if I had to choose a membrane keyboard to use every day, that would be the one I would choose. But I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, it would be great if you could like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and if you like and subscribe, it does promote it within the algorithm, and then more people can see this video and more people can get help. Because we all know there's that one annoying person you're waiting for to move on to the next slide in your PowerPoint presentation because they haven't finished taking notes because they type like 10 words per minute. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments, did any of this surprise you? Is there anything you'd like to add? Let me know what videos I should make because I'm pretty much completely out of video ideas. But that's it for today's video. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the next one.